Welcome to week 10 of The Score, and as we mentioned, this patio thing has been a lot of fun. We've done it for a couple years. Great idea by, I believe, Corey Cuffler. But it's on a night like tonight that I rethink it a little bit. And you can see our breath.
When I came up with this idea 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it's been, I didn't envision cold nights in October like this.
Hey, at least it's not snowing. I mean, it feels like it could.
And then last year we introduced the guest grillers, and we had a young lady, a young aspiring, just go-getter here at the station.
Hungry.
That dream. She had dreams of being said guest griller. Well, she's modest, but somebody is the IBA Illinois Reporter of the Year.
Woo!
And Investigative Reporter of the Year.
So we figured, let's class the place up a little bit. The one and only Shelby Kluber. Is this everything you imagined and then some? What was that dance again?
I thought I had a walk-up. I thought I had a walk-up song at this moment. I thought you were going to play something.
Do you know how to grill? I see said boyfriend off in the distance. I am hoping you're going to come save us if things light on fire.
Let's just say this wasn't exactly. I didn't know this ahead of time that this was necessarily happening. So I always thought maybe if I ever was going to be so lucky to be here, I'd have a couple weeks to Google how to grill, to practice.
At least you got these two. They've done plenty of grilling, so they can help.
So you're going to focus on that. We're going to get to the football, and we'll get to all the good food here in just a little bit. But we start with a good one up at Eldridge.
Yeah, let's head up to Northcott and Lancers Stadium as the 7-2 Northcott Lancers hosting Dora. First quarter, Northcott's Kyler Girardi will get hit at the line of scrimmage, and somehow Jerry Burt lost him. I don't understand how that happened. This guy is awesome, but he did find him again, and Girardi found his way 41 yards to the end zone for a 7-0 score. Later in the first, Girardi will break loose from the 50-yard line as he gets through the line, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to take it to the house, 50 yards for the score. And a 14-0 lead. Second quarter action, we'll have Girardi hitting Kai Smith for a 10-yard touchdown pass. That will make it 21-0 at the break. Third quarter, Northcott's Jace Tippett and the defense will get involved in this one and do something special. Check this out. The pass goes up, and Tippett steps in front, picking the pass off, getting the offense back on the field, and that's going to set up a handoff to Owen Jordal. This one will go for 26 yards and a score. Let's check the final score. Lancers are moving on, 35-7 winners. And now we are joined by the head coach from Northcott, Kevin Tippett. Coach, congratulations on the win. It's always nice to win that first one at home, but what did you see out of your guys tonight that got you the win?
Well, I thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was, it was nice. We got off to a fast start, and our kids were motivated, and we talked all week about trying to get off to a fast start offensively, and the defense set us up in some good field positions early too.
Coach, you look nice and cozy at home, but or inside, I should say. I don't know where you're at per se, but it was football weather. Do your guys embrace this? It's a different vibe, a different feel. We're not in warm weather or anything anymore. It was real football weather, and it felt like a real football type of night.
It did. It was a little crisp in the air, and it's kind of always interesting to see which one of your players, how many of them go short sleeves, and and then they get to the sideline, they want to put the jacket on. But yeah, it felt like football the other night. It was nice.
One step closer to the Dome. Just what do you guys have to do next week to get it done?
Well, we got West Dubuque, and they're a heck of a football team, and they're ranked #1 for a reason, and they got us earlier in the year. But we just got to continue to get better, and we got to execute better than we did up there several weeks ago. That was early in the year, but we're going to enjoy this one tonight, and they're hard to come.
Hey, we had the highlights of Jace picking off a pass. Who do you get those hands from?
Yeah, that would probably be his athletic ability all from Mom, not Dad. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, Coach did most of the offense. I didn't get to see it, but it was kind of fun watching it on video later. So I'm taping this. I'll watch it later.
One of these days, probably not this year, but one of these days we can get you over to the studio or to this patio. She's making shish kebabs, steak shish kebabs. It doesn't sound too bad.
That sounds amazing.
You're missing out.
If they get made, putting stuff on the grill.
Yeah, she should be working. So, hey, Coach, we know you got a lot of work to get to. We always appreciate your time. Best of luck next week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, more action. Speaking of teams looking for revenge, Camille.
Let's head to Tuvell Stadium. It's Bettendorf hosting Iowa City High for the second straight week. Bulldogs strike first. Gavin Barta a 9-yard house call. The Bulldogs would leave 7-0 early. Second quarter, we're tied 7-7. Little Hawks looking for their first lead of the game on 3rd and goal, but it's picked off in the end zone. Jackson Lever, a huge defensive stop. The Bulldogs would go back on offense. QB1, Charlie Zimmerman airs it out, a wide open Cohen Fleming, 19 yards. Bulldogs back on top 14-7. City High ties things up 14 at the break. We go to the second half. Jacob Whipple does it all himself, 37 yards. Bulldogs would extend the lead to 6. Then after 2 offsides from City High, Bulldogs decide to go for 2. Amari Washington, the direct snap, and he would get in. 2-point conversion's good. They're up 22-14. How about this? Caden Burr knocking in a 49-yard field goal. Ooh. That would put them up 11 with under 2 to go in the third. We skip all the way to the fourth, under 5 to go, the same score. But Jacob Whipple says, I'll get one more. 18 yards. Bulldogs would go up 32-14. They get revenge on a team that beat them just a week ago.
It feels amazing, especially, it's like deja vu, not really. But playing here against the same team, it was just nice to get back against them because they're a great team. We know we had the chance to beat them again, and we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. So yeah, it's all about heart, really, and having passion to come back and win against them. And we knew it was on the line, especially me. We thought this would be our last home game, but number 13 seed Centennial beat Waukee Northwest. So we're going to be back here again. So everyone was just laying it on the line for them.
It just shows how much work we put in and how much effort we show towards the sport. And we just want to keep going and going and going, and I have a feeling we might.
We found a way to survive and advance, like the cliche says, and our kids are resilient. And you know, we got kicked, we got knocked down last week, and you know, we found a way to get back up and got after it, and it's just a great win, great team win.
Congrats to Bettendorf. Let's head to Spartan Stadium, Pleasant Valley, taking on West Des Moines Valley for the 3rd straight year. 2nd time in the first round. Last year, Tigers got the best of them. They were up 10-0 in this one. Boy, Kipper fools everyone, including yours truly. It's week 10. I'm better.
Can you believe that?
No way.
Better than that. Touchdown, though. It was 10-7. Later on, it's Spartans taking their first lead of the game. Tate Ryan goes in from 19 yards out, 14-10. But it was 17-14 Valley at the half. To the 3rd quarter we go. Valley adding to the lead. Damon Head with the touchdown from 8 yards out. 24-14, but Pleasant Valley would not go quietly. 4th quarter, it's Kipper again, keeping it one more time. Ooh, got a little better on that one. 15-yard touchdown, 24-21. Spartans within 3, but late in this one. Final minutes, Valley with the quarterback sneak and the touchdown, and it is West Des Moines Valley coming into Pleasant Valley and knocking off the Spartans for the 2nd straight season. 31-21, your final and that one.
Hey, in 3A, Assumption looking for their first postseason win since 2020 at West Delaware. First quarter, first drive, Assumption's Jake Timmons. Ball goes on the ground, picked up by Rhett Schaefer. Next drive for Assumption. Timmons this time would find his way into the end zone and score. The Knights would take a 7-0 lead. Second quarter for Assumption. They're down 30-7, and Angelo Jackson does something special after the touchdown, the ensuing kickoff here. He'll grab it at the 15, find some blockers, find some space. He's going to go 85 yards to the house. Nice. That'll cut it to 30-13. Knights down by 17 right before the half. Assumption looking at cutting that lead just a little bit more. It's Bauer Caspers catching a touchdown. It would be 30-20 at the half in this one. And Assumption's season does come to an end with a tough loss, 58-45.
In 2A, a nice matchup between local teams. Meepo hosting Comanche. Mediapolis looking good. This is Jackson Hutchinson with the 39-yard pickup and a big first down for the home team. And they would keep it on the ground. Later on, it's Hutchinson capping off what he started. 2-yard touchdown run. Mediapolis in front. Then a little defense. Comanche puts the ball on the turf. It's recovered by Meepo. That would lead to some defense for Comanche. They come up with a nice play right here as they come up with the big interception just before as the defender wrestled it away. We go to the second half. Mediapolis, it's Drew Miller to Aiden Nelson for the touchdown right there. And then it's Jackson Hutchinson. We saw him right there. It was 20-0 at that point. We'll show you a final. This one, Meepo, they win 27-0. We're joined now by the head coach of the Bulldogs, our good friend Brian Borison. And you're a busy man these days. Before we get to the football, you're now an athletic director, so you're not driving at this time. You're being safe, we know that, but you're on your way to cross country, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Heading up to Fort Dodge in the morning, so I want to get a head start, and excited to watch our guys run tomorrow. They've had an outstanding season. They got a shot to do some really cool things. Very cool, but we stick with some football. I know you've been happy with your team this season. To come out in this round and to have a performance like that, what does it say about your guys, your staff, and what's going on in Meepo right now? Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of our staff and our guys. I thought we put a real solid defensive game plan together to kind of minimize some of the things that Comman does. They have an outstanding team, a lot of good players, well coached, and they play hard. And I couldn't be more proud of how our kids responded to that. To our game plan that we had. And really, we talked about being the more physical team and buying into that. I think we're able to do that, especially as the game wore on. We're able to, some of our short gains became a little bit longer, and our D-line and all of our defense really brought the physicality in the second half. And I couldn't be more proud of how the kids responded and how they bought in, throughout the season. Coach, you got 2 wins so far in the postseason, but you got this guy named Drew Miller, who's the #1 kicker in the country, or punter in the country. Have you had to use him much, and how much of an asset is he when you do have to use him? Oh, Drew's phenomenal. I mean, there's a reason why he is ranked where he is, and where he's going to go play next year, and all those good things. But yeah, Drew's done an outstanding job, in really all the phases of our kicking game. Whether our punt team has been really solid all year. We've had the luxury of having most of our kicks be touchbacks, so you're kind of consistently putting teams in tough situations. I think the thing that goes unnoticed a little bit about it is how well Drew's done as far as placing punts inside the 10. For instance, last week we started 2. Animos had to start 2 possessions on the 1-yard line. Ultimately it's going to help our defense out and help our team. But he's done a great job and really has been a leader of our special teams, kind of helping all of those guys understand some of the ins and outs of it. And like I said, couldn't be more proud of him. He's a phenomenal kicker and a phenomenal punter. Coach, we appreciate you. Let's do this next week after another victory. What do you say? I appreciate it. Hopefully I won't be in a van somewhere. Drive safely. We appreciate you. Cuff, let's get back to the action. All right, let's go to Wilton and Iowa City Regina, a rematch of just a couple of weeks ago. It's their only loss of the season for Wilton. A long run here sets up a 2nd and goal for William Aitchinson for a 6-yard touchdown. Missed extra point makes it 6-0. It would not be Wilton's night tonight as they fall in this one. Checking the final score, 33-18. Wilton's season comes to an end. A lot of great football, a lot of great food. Shelby is kind of working.
I'm freaking out over here.
She's trying. Hey, they look good.
Our burgers look good.
Hear that, everyone?
They look good.
Those things.
We're ready to sample those soon. We got a lot more football on the Illinois side to get to in just a minute. Don't go away.